One of the most dangerous lies in America is that six figures still means security. We hear $100,000 and imagine stability, a decent home, a car that works, savings, vacations, and a life that feels middle class. But for millions of households, that number no longer buys the old promise. The problem is not that $100,000 is a small income. It is not. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in 2024 was $83,730. So $100,000 is still above the middle. But being above the median is not the same as feeling secure. This is the new middle class trap. Your income can look good on paper, while your actual life gets squeezed from every direction. The number went up, but the cost of participating in a normal life went up faster. Here is the simplest way to see it. Using the Consumer Price Index, $100,000 in January 2020 would need about $129,000 in June 2026 to keep the same purchasing power. In reverse, $100,000 today buys roughly what $77,000 bought at the start of 2020. That is why the old mental picture is broken. People are judging today's salary with yesterday's price memory. They remember what six figures used to mean, not what it actually buys now. Housing is the clearest example. In June 2026, the median existing home price was $440,600. Freddie Mac reported the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate at 6.55% in mid-July. If you put 20% down on that median home, the mortgage principal and interest alone would be around $2,240 a month. And that is before property taxes, before homeowners insurance, before repairs, before utilities, before the car, before groceries, before childcare, before student loans, before the first emergency that does not care how impressive your salary sounds. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the average American household spent about $6,545 per month in 2024. That is average spending before we even get into the regional reality of places like California, New York, Boston, Seattle, Miami, or Washington, D.C. So when a household earns $100,000, the question is not, is that a lot of money? The better question is, how much of that paycheck is already spoken for before the month begins? That is the phrase I want you to remember. Already spoken for. The rent is already spoken for. The mortgage is already spoken for. The car payment is already spoken for. The insurance premium is already spoken for. The credit card minimum is already spoken for. This is why people can make more money and still feel poorer. It is not always lifestyle inflation. Sometimes it is price inflation, interest rate inflation, insurance inflation, and the disappearance of cheap options. The labor market also explains the feeling. In June 2026, average hourly earnings were up 3.5% from a year earlier, but consumer prices were also up 3.5% over the same period. BLS Real Earnings data showed real hourly earnings were basically flat. So the raise happened, but it did not change the life. This is the emotional part of the economy that charts often miss. A person can be doing everything right and still feel like the game changed after they entered it. They got the degree, they got the job, they crossed the six-figure line, and then they discovered the line had moved. That is what repricing feels like. No one sends you a notice saying, "Congratulations, your old definition of middle class has expired." You just notice it slowly. The home is further away. The emergency fund is harder to build. The vacation feels irresponsible. The grocery cart gets edited before checkout. And the emergency data confirms the pressure. The Federal Reserve found that in 2025, 63% of adults could cover a $400 emergency with cash or the equivalent. That sounds like a majority, but it also means 37% could not. In a rich country, that is not a small warning sign. So no, $100,000 is not poverty. But in many places, it is no longer automatic security. It is a number that can still look successful while quietly failing to deliver the life it used to represent. The middle class did not vanish. It was repriced. And the most painful part is that many people only realize it after they finally reach the income goal they were told would save them.